Hey, what's up, Baz? How goes it? What's up, everybody? So it's day 6 of this cops trial. So we're going to go ahead and watch it. Happy birthday, Hood! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Hood! Anyways, everybody wish Hood a happy birthday. Hood, you should be putting your cash app in here, not mine. Anyways, it is Hood's birthday, and I want to wish her a very, very happy birthday. She didn't have to be here, but I am very happy she is. And I hope you have the best birthday ever, Hood. Best birthday ever. Okay. Yeah, no. I hope you get a little, hoochie daddy shorts, you get a little surprise in your inbox, yeah. But all right, let's get started on this cop trial. Yesterday we heard the video. We didn't get to see the video and I understand that because, kids' lives were lost and it was a tragic situation that happened. In Uvalde, Texas, 2024. Yeah. All right, let's get started. I guess let's get started. Hold on. Let me press the play button and get this started. Okay, where are we? Yeah. Okay, maybe we'll get this party started. Maybe I should have queued this up right on time, huh? Okay, we're back with the teacher.
I wanna ask you some more questions about how you testified yesterday to this jury versus that body, and I want you to know something that my questions don't diminish what you went through. Okay, I want you to know that it's apparent to us. I think everybody what you went through, we see that the results of it. But you understand I have to ask you questions, right?
Yes.
You understand that the government has brought Adrian into this court, and they're essentially blaming him for the cascade of horror. Well, I'm just laying down the foundation.
You can't be testifying.
Go ahead. You understand this proceeding, right?
Yes.
Okay. You testified yesterday that you didn't know exactly what those sounds were as they were getting louder, even when you saw the flakes of sheetrock come down. You remember that?
Yes.
Have you ever testified differently?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say to a different grand jury, at the time you saw the flakes of sheetrock that you knew it was a gun, you figured it was a gun?
I kind of put it together, yes.
Okay, and so that's what I'm saying. So that's why I wanted to give you an opportunity to correct that. So you told this jury yesterday that even when you saw the sheetrock coming down, that you still didn't know what it was. Remember that yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Okay, but now you recall that you did figure it was a gun. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And at that moment, you made a decision that if it was going to be a gun, you were not going to run to that situation, and you were going to hope that the door was locked. Do you remember saying that?
I never said that I was not going to run to the door.
Did you remember testifying to that same grand jury?
Yes. Yes.
And you were under oath like you are today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're parsing words here, but I understand why he's got to do it.
And you testified to the grand jury just similar to what you're testifying before this jury, correct?
Yes.
I'm a direct opposing counsel to transcript of the grand jury, page 54, lines 2 through 5. Answer you. Okay.
Objecting to him reading the John impeachment, would they allow him to refresh his memory and then ask him first?
Well, no, I asked him if he remembered. He didn't remember, Judge, so I'm allowed to impeach him because he didn't say it. Differently.
I'm gonna overrule the objection. Sir, they're gonna read it to you, see if it refreshes your memory. You can agree or disagree that you said it after they read it to you, okay?
Okay.
Question from grand jury. You had already taken it, your words, upon yourself to do the lockdown. Turn off the light, secure the kids, but you never went or thought about locking the door, making sure it was locked? That was the question. Answer. Okay. The reason that I didn't do all those because the lights were already off. And when I saw the sheetrock falling, I figured that it was something like a gun. So I told them to get in place, and seeing that I was not going to run to that. So I was hoping that my door was locked.
Yes.
And that's how you testified to the grand jury, right?
Yes.
But then you also took it a step further. You almost tied the fact that you weren't going to go running to the shooting to what you thought the officers weren't doing at that time. Do you recall that?
No.
Answer. Go ahead.
I might have made that statement because when I got to the other side, I was shot already. So there was no chance for me to even run, and it didn't happen like that.
Well, I'm just going over what you
Yeah.
testified to the grand
Yeah.
jury, right? Would you like to look at it really quickly?
No.
Oh, you know, okay. So I'm going to read it to you, okay?
Mhm.
If officers didn't want to go to the shooting, I didn't want to go either.
Yes.
I had the pencil to defend myself.
Yes.
So that's what you had testified before. And so you knew during the time you were seeing the sheetrock chip off,
No,
you
as
figured it was a gun, right?
Yes.
And you
no, as I'm still waiting. And if they showed the video, we didn't get to see it because of all the gore.
weren't sure if your door was locked, correct?
Yes.
But you weren't going to go check.
Which I don't know what.
Well, that's not
I mean,
what you
everybody's
testified to
already
before,
seen that
right?
video.
You
I
just
don't know
weren't
what
gonna
they're
go. You were
trying to
hoping it was
hide.
locked. Do you remember that? You
I
talked
guess
about that?
because they took.
I guess, yeah. I guess when I got up, I just had hope that it was locked.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also want
I guess after they played the video and stuff, I guess it may have showed what had occurred. Um, it was longer than. I mean, it was shorter than what really transpired. But yeah, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna watch 3 or 4 minutes," and da 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 da. And it was from the time the guy walked into the school till they killed him. You know, till they ended up shooting him dead. Um, they showed that part, but they didn't show the beginning part where they're standing around twiddling their thumbs and shit. Haven't seen that one. So I don't know. I'm still conflicted. I'm pissed off the mother fudger didn't go do what he was supposed to do. At the same time, I understand like he needs to protect himself too, because a dead cop isn't a service to anybody. However, you are on a job that says that you put your life on the line to save those of others, and they dropped the ball on this. They didn't encounter the gunman until like I don't know how many minutes later. It was crazy. This whole case was crazy, and they showed the videos. They showed the videos outside of court, but why they won't show it to us while they're playing it in court is ridiculous. But whatever. I guess they want to spare the families more grief, and I understand that. That's why I don't understand why we're doing this. But I'm thinking the families are behind it. Um, you know. And who's to say they would save those kids? You know what I mean? Like, who's to say like more wouldn't have been hurt or something? You know, like there's a lot of things that I don't know if I'm ready to condemn him yet. I don't know if I am. I don't feel like it's his fault. I because I don't know what he did or didn't do. Like I have not seen that video. I don't know whether he did or didn't do nothing. But I know that the one cop that they do got coming, going on trial, now that mother effer didn't do jack shit and kept on trying to pull people back, saying, no, don't go there. Don't, trying to keep them away from doing what was right. So, I'm still conflicted. I still don't know why we're here. I really don't. I don't know why we're here.
I direct your attention about somebody who testified yesterday about teachers at the school. You don't know what they knew about the magnets. Remember about that magnet system that was unofficially being used by teachers?
Mhm.
Recall that?
Hey,
You actually
Beast, why don't
knew
you
that
wish
almost every
Hood a
teacher
happy birthday?
had
Yeah.
those magnets, right?
I would say that most teachers have that kind of
Birthday,
magnet because
say
it's a
your
manipulative,
birthday.
and so we do use them for math to do assignments. Yes.
Well, two things I want to ask you what a manipulative is. But number two, yesterday you said I don't know what other teachers do. Do you remember saying that to this jury?
Yes.
Okay. But you did know. You knew that almost every teacher had those magnets, correct?
Most teachers do have those magnets. Yes.
And they use them in the doors, correct?
Sometimes.
Now, will you explain to this jury what a manipulative is?
A manipulative is an object that is used to try to make the connection of. We use them mostly in math to make the connection. So like it would be like a small little toy. Like we use a lot of bears, so that would be like adding 2 red bears to 2 blue bears, and that makes 4 bears.
Okay. But they were used to bypass locks,
Yes.
right? I mean, so because it was out of convenience, like you with the copier, but other teachers, because if kids needed to go in and out of the bathroom because the school only gave keys, actual keys, teachers didn't want to go and have to unlock the doors.
Yes.
And then when it came to substitutes, though, when it came to substitute teachers, doors
See
were
that?
left unlocked
You
constantly
see?
because they didn't have
I
keys.
got an issue. So how are you to tell me that all this shit that they are doing to bypass their fucking locks is not the school's fucking fault? But they're just come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Because they were bypassing the blocks, he got in. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. You didn't want to lock your door because, oh, I have a copier, and oh my God, it would take the teachers an extra 1 or 2 seconds to get in. But you risked the lives and safety of those kids. I got a whole bunch of issues, man.
Yes.
I don't even know what came of Uvalde's, like they had a whole school board shit. I don't know whatever came of Robb Elementary's shit. If they find them liable or what. But if I was the parents, I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be fucking pissed that the school that my kid went to, they didn't find my child's fucking life precious enough to take 2 seconds out of their fucking time to unlock a motherfucking door so that the doors stay locked 24/7. Anyways, all right, whatever. Cool.
So those doors were left unlocked whenever substitutes came in to teach.
I think so. Yes.
Well, you knew so when you testified to the grand jury, right?
Mhm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, yeah.
I want to talk to you about those tables that you directed the children to go under. The tables in your room were different than the tables in 112. Would you say, in the sense of curtains? Your tables didn't have curtains.
No. No.
And the tables in 112 did, to where kids could go under and then be covered by the curtains, correct?
Yes.
So when you say, and again, I say this respectfully, so when you say when children were hiding under the tables, the only way that would work is if somebody was looking up through a window for a moment. They weren't really hidden, correct?
I guess if they look from that side, I don't understand what you're trying to.
Okay, that's fine. May I stand up, Judge?
Yes.
That they were
You're walking
no,
from this
they
way.
were fucking covered.
Present to you that there's an opening here. I don't know if you noticed it when you walked in.
Mhm.
Sir, you were a teacher. You're not a teacher anymore. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Sorry to say that. However, sir, your little manual, your little training or whatever, you're supposed to hide out of sight, out of mind type shit. So why didn't your table have curtains, motherfucker? That's why every last one of your kids were died. I'm getting irritated by his testimony. I'm going. I'm
If
gonna
my co-counsel
shut up.
and us get under this table, and I'm walking from the gallery here, we're not really hidden because we can see. I can see under the table.
It's these teachers, it's everybody, but they want to blame the cop.
Then that would conceal us. So maybe.
Well,
if
the
I walk
one
by, I
cop
wouldn't
is a
notice and then
fucking
keep walking.
dickhead,
Do you
but
understand my
the
question?
other one,
Yes.
no, him. I don't.
So your room didn't have those curtains,
No.
but the children were under the desk, right?
Mhm.
And And although I think you testified yesterday, although that your school was experiencing in the community a tremendous amount of bailouts, there wasn't a focus on unlocking these doors.
What do you mean knocking the doors? Like,
There's two lines of barrier for defense of a student, right?
Mhm.
There's the external door, kind of like the door to a courtroom, and then there's an internal door, like a door to a jury room back there, right?
Mhm.
Is that yes, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And so what I'm saying is the external doors in the fourth grade building were not locked. We know that now, right?
Now we know, yes.
And then the internal doors were not locked.
Which was another teacher's
The internal
fault.
doors in between classes,
Yes, sir.
yes, and I explained that yesterday that was left open because Ms. Mireles was a special ed teacher and constantly printed stuff for IEPs and stuff.
I'm sorry, that was a bad question for me. I understand that the 111 to 112, that wasn't locked either. I'm talking about the door leading into 111. That wasn't locked either.
That day, no.
I'm really sorry what you went through and your community went through, sir. Thank you for answering my questions. That's good.
Just a few questions to follow up. Your tables did not have curtains, is that correct?
Correct.
So was the room dark at that time?
Yes, it was dark.
And did that help shield where the children
You
were?
still got light from the windows, though,
No,
right?
curtains on the window.
No, the fact that the room was dark.
In my opinion, I
Okay, hold on. How can it really be dark when you got fucking windows in that motherfucker with no curtains? That don't make no damn sense. There's light going to be coming through. You're still going to be able to see those kids. And it's no fault to him. It's the school's fault. However, the locked doors and cutting corners and shit like that, that is your motherfucking fault. But you guys want to blame the you want to blame the cops? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Man,
say that it's out of view, and so I mean the curtains in room 112, that was a personal choice on her part. So I didn't have curtains on the bottom of my table. No.
But the point of it is,
well, shout out to that fucking teacher for thinking fucking smart and ahead. Because, it's sad to say, and I'm sorry to say this, but the kids in her room, most of them survived. Okay, that's all I had to say. But shout out to that teacher for knowing, and she didn't quit her job either. Shout out to her. Yeah.
is that the kids went for
Yes, sir.
even though there were gunshots going on, the kids had the sense to go where they were trained.
Yes, sir.
And we talked a whole lot about magnets, but the gunman entered your room, correct?
Yes.
Did a magnet have anything to do with him entering your room?
No.
And the question about officers didn't want to go in, and I didn't want to go in, those were the shooting either. Were you armed with a firearm?
No, sir.
Did you have bulletproof vest on?
No, sir.
But hold on, okay? See, that comment to me means that he's got an agenda to push. When he says, oh, well, the cops didn't want to go towards the danger, neither did I. The cops were going towards the danger. Some of them got shot in the mix of all this when they weren't listening to command. Also, the guy that went in and popped dude dead was shot, grazed. There was officers injured. So let's not act like, oh yeah, They just waited around and da. No, some of them did actually fucking act. That fucking the chief is the
You've been
asshole.
trained on how to confront an active shooter,
No, sir.
and did you have the duties a police officer has?
No, sir.
As
When you train on lockdown procedures, you're not trained to have a helmet or body armor or a long rifle, right?
Correct.
You're trained just to go lock the door.
And other things as well as to hide the kids. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
But hiding the kids isn't as effective if that door is not locked.
I guess so, yeah.
And I think that the government asked you that the magnet had nothing to do with the gunman entering that room. Do you remember that question?
Mhm.
But that door being unlocked had an effect on that gunman entering the room. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Can you repeat
Yes.
that
Yes,
again?
sir. The fact that the door was not locked, that had an effect on the gunman entering the room.
Yes.
That's the witness, sir.
a question.
Recall either side.
No, sir, not for myself.
Okay, sir, you are excused from the subpoena. You're free to go. The rule was invoked, like I explained to you yesterday. Would you do me a favor and not discuss the case with anyone until you're aware the trial is over?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
But like,
Yes,
make
yes.
no mistake, it is the
State
gunman's
calls
fault
Elsa Avila.
that those babies are no longer here. Of course, it's his fault. However, other people could have fucking stopped it. That's all I'm saying. Catch 2022. I mean, catch 22. What the F will you do? You know, that's what it is. And it's one day that you don't think something's gonna happen, that it'll happen.
Morning, ma'am. You just come up to the bench here and raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear the evidence in the testimony given in the cause will be the truth, so help you God.
I don't know who this person
That's the witness
is.
stand right there.
We shall find out.
You may proceed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name for the record.
Elsa Avila.
And Ms. Avila, where are you currently employed?
I work at Sacred Heart Catholic School in Uvalde.
How long were you employed with the Uvalde Independent School District?
26 years.
And in May of 2022, where were you employed? What school?
I was at Robb Elementary.
And what was your job position at Robb Elementary?
I was a fourth grade teacher.
And how long?
I think
had you
this
worked
is
at
the
Robb
12th
Elementary?
or the 112
About 8
for
years.
minute.
And that was my 8th year.
Okay. Did you work at other
Then 112.
campuses with the Uvalde Independent School District?
Yes, I did.
What other campuses did you work
I
at?
worked at Anthem Elementary.
I'm going to ask you to let me finish the question. I know you're very nervous and this is nerve wracking. Just let me finish the question.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Did you also teach pre-K at some point?
Yes, I did.
And where was that at?
I taught, that was not with the district though. I taught with community council,
Community council.
What the heck is
And
that on
during
the
the
her?
Head Start.
Head Start program
Yes,
for the community.
yes.
As of 2022, how many years had you been teaching the fourth grade?
Oh, it's a ring.
From 2007 to 2022.
Okay. And did you enjoy teaching the fourth grade?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell the jury why is that?
Because the students were a lot more independent. You could reason with them. They, it was just easier for me. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed that grade level. Now, for the school year of 2021 to 2022, did you begin that school year at Robb Elementary?
Yes, I did.
Now, can you explain to the jury what the Raptor system was at that time?
The Raptor system was an alert system that the school district used. It was an app on our phones, and it was to alert us to any emergency at the school.
I think this is the teacher in the
And
next
can you
class
explain to the
over.
jury what is a lockdown as you understand it?
A lockdown is when there's a threat at the school, so we need to lock our doors, turn off the lights, and get out of sight.
Now, did you receive training as a teacher for the Uvalde Independent School District on a lockdown and the procedures of that?
Yes.
And who provided that training to you?
We had it every year during our in-service before school started, and it was provided by police officers.
Police officers for the Uvalde Independent School District?
I believe so, or it could have been police officers from the city. I'm not quite sure.
But do you remember who was the officer who provided the training to you?
For that year, I remember that it was Ruben Royce. and another officer, but I don't remember who the other officer was because it was always 2 officers that would come into the training.
And do you remember Ruben Ruiz being a police officer for the Uvalde Independent School District?
I believe so.
And his wife was a teacher, right?
Yes, because I remember that year he was joking around with Eva there in the cafeteria when we were having the training that year.
And when you mean by Eva, who are you speaking about?
Eva Mireles, which was a coworker. She was also a 4th grade teacher.
Okay. And what room was she in?
She was in room 112.
And how often were you providing this training on lockdowns?
We had it every year. Like I said, during in-service before school started, every school year.
Now, with regard to the children, how are they trained on lockdowns?
The children, we practiced with them, and I believe we had a drill. We had the lockdown drills once every semester, one in the spring and one in the fall, one in the fall and then one in the spring. And we would also, they knew we would lock the doors, turn off the lights, and get to our secure area out of sight, the furthest corner of the room away from the windows and the door.
And who provided this training to the students?
We did, the teachers.
Now, when you are in training as to a lockdown, what are you trying to do as to the termination of that lockdown?
When we're doing the drills, the admin or the principal will come on the intercom and say, our lockdown drill is over. But when we were trained that when there was a real lockdown situation, a real threat, then we would remain out of sight, stay quiet until law enforcement came and opened our doors. We were not to answer the door to anyone. If they knocked or they said, we're here to open the door for us, we were trained that law enforcement would open the door because they would have the keys to our classrooms.
Now I'm going to take you back to May 24th of 2022. What were your work hours that day?
My work hours every day were from 7:30 to 4.
And where was your classroom? What I'm going to do, we're going to show you State's Exhibit number 756. May I press the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm going to give you a pointer, and I'm going to ask that you get up and show the jury where was your classroom on May 24th, 2022. For the record, you're pointing to classroom number 109, which is on the southeast side, second classroom north from the south door. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Let me sit down then. Well, I'll tell you what, stay up there. Can you explain to the jury, when you walk into your classroom on May 24th of 2022, what would you see?
We walk in my door, just as I go through the hallway, we walk in, connecting doors to 110. On the east side, we have 2 windows.
Excuse me, Judge. I'm so sorry. Can we ask Isabella, do you mind raising your voice so we can hear you?
Why don't you go ahead and sit down? That way you have the microphone.
My teacher desk, or actually a kidney table, was at the far east wall by the windows. And then the students' desks were around the rooms in a U shape.
When you say kidney table, I think we need to clarify that. What do you mean by that for the jury? Is it the tables in the shape of a kidney?
Yes, it's
Okay.
a table in the shape of the kidney. Yes.
Okay.
So we did not have teacher desks. That was our small group table and also our desk.
Okay, so it doubled as an activity desk and a desk for you then.
Yes.
And how many years were you in that classroom as of 2022?
I was in that classroom, let's see, I was around 8 years, and I was in another classroom 2 years. So I was in that classroom about 6 years.
And where were the windows in your classroom?
They were on the east wall.
Hey, Shri,
And
happy
did you have curtains and blinds?
birthday.
I
Hold
had
on, let
blinds
me
and
pause this.
curtains. I had,
Hold on, let me pause
like a-
this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Shri. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Shri. I hope today is a blessed day for you and Hood, my girls, Happy birthday.
curtains because since we used the ViewSonic screen monitor, the glare would, even with the blinds, it would be a glare.
Man, that's a slap. That's got to be a slap. That poor cop. No wonder he died of a heart attack and shit. He was the one that did the training for the wife, And the wife lost her. Oh Lord.
It was hard for
Oh
the students to see, so I had blackout
yeah,
plans.
that would be hard for me too.
And did your classroom adjoin another classroom?
Yes, it adjoined room 110.
Now, on May 24th of 2022, was that a special day? Were there special activities that day?
Yes, that was awards day, so we had our awards ceremonies for fourth grade on that day.
And what time was your award ceremony?
My award ceremony was from 10 to 10:30.
So because it was a free day, was it unstructured? So
Yes, because a lot of children leave after the award ceremony. Not all the students stay, so that no one was really following like the regular schedule on that day.
Yeah, it was crazy, Beast. Right after this happened, so he was on location when it happened. He found out that it was his wife's classroom. I think she was on the phone with him, if I remember right. And when he heard the shots and shit, they had to take his gun and stuff away from him. So he didn't go be a He-Man. Although I would have just let him do it. Anyways, he had a heart attack like a week after this whole incident. It's pretty sad.
It was at different schedules.
what time did you get back to your classroom?
I got back to my classroom about around 10:30, 10:35.
Did all of your students stay? Did you have any leave?
I had one student that decided to go home.
Did the rest of your students stay?
The rest of them stayed, yes.
Why is that?
Because they knew that we were going to be doing fun activities that day. We were going to do a STEM activity. We were going to finish up piñatas that we were going to break on the last day of school, and we were going to have snow cones at recess. So they knew it was going to be a fun activity day.
Now, what was the STEM activity that y'all had planned for the day?
We were doing a STEM challenge. They were creating their own shoes out of newspaper. So they each had to create their own special shoes, and then we were going to have a race at 11:30. We were going to go outside to the playground and have a race to see who created the sturdiest shoes, whose shoe would make it to the end of the race. And then, of course, we'd have a winner, we'd have a prize, and fourth graders love prizes, and they love competing, so they were all excited about that.
Sounds like a very special day, was it not?
Yes, it was. We were having a lot of fun.
So you said that y'all planned to go outside about what time?
At 11:30, I had set my timer on my phone, and the kids were ready for that timer to ring. They were ready to go outside and have the race.
In preparation to go outside, what did you have your students doing?
When the timer rang off, they're like, it's time, let's go. So we lined up at the door, and I was teasing them, and I was like, oh, well, let me take pictures first. Oh, let me take another picture. And they're like, let's go. Let me take pictures. I want to see everybody's shoes before we go, and they get ruined. So we were spending some time there taking pictures, and they were lined up at the door, and they were making their faces, and I was just taking pictures of their shoes, and they were posing with their different shoes. And then as I'm taking pictures, my line leader, one of my students, a little girl, she told me, Miss, there's something going on. Miss Deming's class is running to her classroom, and they're screaming and running. And I told her, well, let's let Miss Deming worry about it. I'm sure she'll take care of it. It's okay. And so I continued with the other students taking pictures, and then she told me again, no, it's like they're scared, they're crying, they're running. And so I told her, okay, well, let me go take a look. So I told her, stand back.
Damn shame that these
I opened the
fucking
door.
kids had more
I put
sense.
my head out into the hallway, and
It's a damn shame these kids had more sense than these fucking teachers. That amazes me. Anyways, okay.
I heard a female voice yelling, get in your rooms. So I knew, okay, something is going on.
How would you describe that yelling for the jury?
She sounded terrified, anxious, and she was really screaming loud. So I knew, okay, something's going on. So I slammed my door shut. I turned off the lights, and I told the kids, let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Did you see the woman that was screaming?
No.
Did you see anybody in the hallway?
I didn't see anybody.
So right now you have a woman screaming. She sounds terrified. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so then what did you do?
Like I said, I slammed my door, I turned off the lights, and I told the kids, let's go. I mean, they know that that's.
I'm gonna
That's
stop
all.
you right there. You said you hear a woman screaming. You don't see anything, but you go into lockdown.
Yes.
Explain to the jury why that is. I mean, right now all you know is that you have a teacher screaming. You have kids that are
Because
running.
you don't know
Why
what's
did you go
going
into
on.
lockdown
You don't know what the threat is.
Because
yeah.
I knew there was
Be
some kind of
prepared.
threat, there was some kind of danger, and we had to go into safety mode. We had to protect the kids. We had to be sure that everyone was safe.
So what did you do then?
Like I said, I slammed the door shut. I turned off the lights, and I told the kids go. They already knew, when the lights are off, we lock our door. We know our next step is out of sight, stay down, stay quiet. So that's what I told them: to stay down, stay quiet. And I started directing them. But as soon as we started moving, we heard shots. We heard loud, loud shots in the hallway.
What were your students' reaction upon hearing these shots?
That some of them started crying. They started moving faster towards the corner, getting
Can you
under the
not?
counter. They knew that it was, you know, a real thing, that this time it was not a drill, that it was something real because they could hear the shots being fired.
Now, what were
Don't.
you doing as the kids are getting down and hiding? What were you doing?
I was directing them, you know, to making sure that everyone was safe and out of sight, was down. And I saw that some kids had gone further down the classroom by the whiteboard, and they were getting too close to the window. So I stood up and was directing them to come closer, you know, to the corner, to the west side, closer to me, where I could see everyone and where everyone was. And as I stood there and I was waving them over, that's when I felt, well, we were hearing shots, and I felt a shot on my left side.
So you were shot at this point.
At this point, yes.
The moment that you're standing up directing the kids to get
Yes.
closer to you. Is that correct?
Yes.
So did you realize you were shot? I mean, what did you feel?
Yes, because I felt the pain, you know, I felt the burning pain, and I know I yelled, "Oh no, I'm shot," and I fell to the floor. So yes, I knew I was shot, and I put my hand on my side, and I saw blood. You know, when I took my hand away, I saw blood, so I knew that I had been shot.
Once you fell to the floor, what happened next?
I fell to the floor, and we kept hearing the shots. They were just going like that, just one after the other, one after the other, and it would stop, and then it would go. And
Oh my God.
I
Lady.
was just laying there. I dropped my phone. I dropped my glasses. So I was crawling around looking for my phone, looking for my glasses, so that I could text somebody, you know, that I was hurt, and let them know.
Were you able to text somebody to let them know that you were shot?
Yes, I did. I texted my principal. I texted the counselor. I texted some of my teacher friends on a teacher group that we had to let them know, you know, I'm shot. I need help. You know, send help. The counselor answered. She said, "Are you in lockdown? We're supposed to be in lockdown. Are you in your room?" I said, "Yes, I'm shot. I need help." And then she didn't answer. And then
Did you notice anything, another phone going off in the room at this point?
yes, at this point, I noticed some flashing, and the children that were by the whiteboard, that's where the hooks are for their backpacks. So the backpacks were hanging there. So one of the students had grabbed their phone, and I guess was trying to call out, or somebody was calling them. I guess that's why the phone was flashing, because it was on silent.
What did
And
you
so
do?
I could see flashing. So I crawled over there, and I grabbed the phone, and I said, "No phones. We don't use phones. You know, we have to stay quiet."
So let me understand right now. So right now you're shot. You fell to the floor. You don't have your glasses on. You're trying to communicate for help, but you still realize that this other phone should not be going off.
Yes,
And you grab it.
yes.
Okay.
And I
Did one
kept
of your
it.
other students notice the phone also?
Yes, and because I grabbed it, and I kept it with me, but it was face up, and it continued flashing. And one of my little girls said, "Miss, it's still flashing, it's still flashing," and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. I don't have my glasses on, so then I just put it face down and just kept it with me, and just face down.
So even she knew that that was not proper procedure for lockdown.
Yes.
Now, what happened then after that?
After that, the shots were going on and off, and then after a while, there was just silence. And then we heard footsteps. We heard like mumbling, you know, voices yelling that we couldn't tell. Well, I couldn't tell because I was on the floor, so I couldn't tell exactly where the sounds were coming from. If they were from the room next door, or they were in the hallway. I mean, I could just hear a lot of noise out there.
What were your students doing at this time?
They were staying quiet. They were hugging each other. They were helping each other stay quiet. Some of them were tapping me, and they were telling me, Miss, we love you. We love you. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And
They were trying to comfort you?
they were trying to comfort me. And after I was texting and all that, then the pain was getting more and more, and I couldn't answer them anymore. I couldn't reassure them. I couldn't comfort them because I was trying so hard to keep in the pain. I didn't want to move and start, you know, yelling, or I mean, I knew I had to stay quiet, and I had to stay calm so that they could as well stay quiet and stay calm.
Now, while you're lying there, can you explain to the jury what your thought process was?
As I'm lying there, like I said, I was hearing noises. I didn't know if it was the room next door, and that was my biggest worry, that he's going to come in there, and you know, that door is never locked, the connecting door. He's going to come in through there. You know, what can I do? I'm here. I'm on the floor. What can I do? I was under the desks because I'm on the floor and the desks are there. Now, the thought that came to my mind was I can push the desks. You know, if I see movement at the door, I can try to push the desks over that way to topple the desk, maybe trip them up.
So you're thinking of ways to confront
Ways
the
to try to trip them up or try to slow them down, stop them, something.
Now, were you eventually evacuated?
Yes, we were.
And how did the evacuation occur?
After, I don't know how long it was, it seemed forever. The police busted through the windows. They said, police, we're here to help you. And they broke in through the east windows and they glass flew everywhere. And the students let out a collective cry, like keening. Like, I mean, they all just cried at the same time because they've been holding it in for so long. And some of them ran to the window right away. Some of them stayed with me and they didn't move. So
They wanted to stay with you?
yes, so I somehow stood up and, told them, come on, let's go, move.
So you assisted them in getting out of the window?
Yes, I walked some of them to the table because they had to climb on the table and then my bookshelf that was right under the window because the windows were high. So they had to step on the table and the shelves and climb out the window. So yes, I assisted some of them.
Who was the last person out of your classroom that day?
I was the last person out. By that time, I was out of strength, and it was my turn to climb out. And the officer kept saying, "Come on, get out." And I told him, "I can't. I'm shot. I can't climb." And then they called another officer, jumped in, and between two officers, they helped me out the window. And I just remember hearing them telling my students, "Just run." But I didn't know, where they were running, where they were going. Two officers walked me out, and they kept yelling for a stretcher, but nobody came, and they just had to walk me all around the building to get to the fence to get to.
It's the 13th.
Now, I want you to explain to the jury, while you were laying there, what was your worst fear? You talked about that you were thinking about confronting, how would you confront the gunman? But what was your worst fear?
My worst fear is I was there. Like I said, I was trying to hold in the pain. I was in so much pain towards the end there. My body was going into shock because my legs were already starting to shake. My whole body was starting to shake, and I kept praying, God, please don't let me die in front of my street. And I wanted to see them to be the best thing myself. And it was so hard because I couldn't. They kept telling me this, are you okay? And I couldn't answer them. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't comfort them. And I didn't want them to see me die there in front of it.
Your fear was that you would die in front of him.
Yes.
Thinking about that day, what are your thoughts about those students?
Because they did everything they were supposed to do. They followed their training. They did everything just as they were supposed to do. They stayed down. They stayed quiet. They took care of each other. They tried to take care of me. And like I said, they followed their training. They did what they were supposed to do.
Now, Ms. Avila, are you still teaching today?
Yes, when all this happened, I retired because at that time I could not see myself back in a classroom. I could not even step inside a school building. I would get panic attacks, and I had to retire because I just could not see myself back in a classroom.
So why are you teaching?
Well, I went through counseling, through PTSD therapy, and as I got better, medication, I got better. I missed it so much. I missed the teaching. So this year is my first year back. I was so happy to be back in the classroom. I love my students. We have a lot of fun. And so, thank God that I'm back in the classroom.
As a witness.
Do you need some time? One more time?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to have to end this. I'll be back tonight. I got to get this stuff done. I'll be back tonight.
I I got